With rising waters, record temperatures, and more frequent and volatile natural disasters, it makes the topic of global warming a more common conversation each year. Global warming, which is also referred to as climate change, is defined by the online Britannica Encyclopedia as being the phenomenon of increasing average air temperatures near the surface of Earth over the past 1 to 2 centuries. This happens from gases in our atmosphere trapping heat from the sun. So essentially, the Earth is one big greenhouse. The gases that are to blame include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, also known as CFCs. Carbon dioxide has increased in our atmosphere by deforestation and burning of fossil fuels. According to NASA, humans have increased atmospheric CO2 concentration by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution began. Methane derives from the natural resources as well as human activity. This includes the decomposition of waste in landfills, agriculture, especially rice cultivation, as well as manure management that is associated with domestic livestock. Nitrous oxide is produced by soil cultivation practices, mainly with the use of commercial and organic fertilizers, fossil fuel combustion, as well as nitric acid production. Lastly, CFCs are synthetic compounds entirely made from industrial processes. It is used in a number of applications, but is now regulated by the production and the release into the atmosphere by an international agreement. This is because of how it aids greatly in the destruction of the ozone layer. A major byproduct of the greenhouse effect is water vapor. It is the most abundant greenhouse gas. As the Earth's atmosphere warms, so does the possibility of clouds and precipitation, making this one of the most important feedback mechanisms to the greenhouse effect. So how can we combat climate change? We can focus on lowering these gases in our atmosphere. One way to work towards this is by lowering our waste. The average U.S. household creates a little over 4 pounds of trash a day. It might not seem like that much, but adds up pretty quickly. According to an article by Marshall Brain, the Great Pyramid in Egypt is 756 feet by 756 feet at the base and is 481 feet tall. It is one of the biggest things ever built by man. If you took all the trash in the United States and the United States would generate in 100 years and piled it up in the shape of the Great Pyramid, it would be about 32 times bigger. So the base of this trash pyramid would be about 4.5 miles by 4.5 miles, and the pyramid would rise almost 3 miles high. If everyone worked towards making a conscious effort in using resources that are biodegradable, we could reduce methane production and in turn help the environment. Another way to combat climate change is by reducing water waste. Saving water reduces carbon pollution too. That's because it takes a lot of energy to pump, heat, and treat your water. So taking shorter showers, turning off the water while brushing your teeth, and switching to water-sense appliances can make a difference. The EPA estimates that if just 1 out of every 100 American homes were retrofitted with water-efficient fixtures, about 100 million kilowatt hours of electricity per year would be saved, avoiding 80,000 tons of global warming pollution. It not only would help reduce gas outputs made by water treatment plants, but it would also aid in the preservation of drinking water. According to a 2014 Government Accountability Report, 40 out of 50 state water managers expect water shortages under average conditions in some portion of their states over the next decade. Lastly, making your home energy efficient will help in combating climate change. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, in 2017, the average annual electricity consumption for a U.S. residential utility customer was 10,399 kilowatt hours, an average of 867 kilowatt hours per month. To put that into perspective, 1 kilowatt hour of electricity is enough to watch television for 10 hours, vacuum for 1 hour, wash 12 pounds of laundry, and work on a computer for over 5 to 10 hours. To make a home more energy efficient, regular bulbs can be switched to LED bulbs. Old appliances can be switched to ones with Energy Star label, and make sure all electronics are unplugged when not in use, as well as adding solar panels can help to combat this as well. Climate change is something that affects everyone equally. Taking small steps might seem like it's not going to make a big difference, but change comes in numbers. If each person would take a small step, the path of climate change can be altered for the better.
All right.